Okay. So, guys, we'll start from pretty much where we left yesterday. This is the third lecture in the series of webinars that we are conducting over a period of 1 week. We have already conducted 3 sessions until now. The first session was on history of Triz, where we explained how Triz started, who was the founder of Triz, the proliferation of Triz, so on and so forth. Next session, we've already done the basic understanding of function modeling. We've already done component analysis, interaction matrix. I've created a function model as well. Now we today move to a very interesting topic, that's cost reduction. Cost reduction is generally there on the agenda of almost every corporate, and with the way the world is moving, we definitely know that one definite way of increasing your market share is cost reduction after a product is introduced. So today we'll try to learn how can we use TRIZ for controlling cost of a product. Okay, so let's start with it. Cost reduction using TRIZ. So basically, before we get into the cost reduction, how do we reduce the cost? We first need to identify what are the various components that comprise the cost of a product. So broadly, they can be classified into these 5 categories: the raw material cost, which is called as the RMC; the process cost, that is the manufacturing process cost; the labor cost, owing to the amount of labor that's needed to help produce the finished goods; then the packaging cost before the product gets transported to the market. So it would be interesting for you all to know that many a times we discount packaging cost, but there is a lot of effort and money that goes into packaging the product so that it reaches the intended markets safely and on time. So there is a good share of packaging cost in the overall cost of the product. And then last but definitely not the least, transportation cost overheads, especially extremely high in cases of materials that are not sourced from the same city within this a small vicinity of where the product is to be used. These transportation costs may go really high, and there is a separate stream itself that works on controlling the transportation costs, and that's what people do when they talk about supply chain management.
Side effects and the asset.
Am I audible? I can hear some noise in the background.
Yes, you are audible, but I think someone's mic is Akhil Aburi. His mic is
Okay,
still on. Mr. Akhil, please unmute your mic. Yeah, thank you, Akhil.
okay, 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 good enough.
Yes, Rohan bhai, please carry on.
Okay, so after having identified the various components of cost of a product, let's now try to see where does this fit in the scheme of things. What can be the role of TRIZ? So TRIZ basically works twofold. It can work on the product design part, or it can also work on the process improvement part. So the moment we talk about product design, raw material cost, process cost, and packaging costs, they come into picture. Okay, so using TRIZ, we can work on products so that either the raw material cost itself comes down, or it reduces the process cost by eliminating a few steps in between, or the packaging cost comes down. Now, going to the process improvement part of it, again, like we said, it works heavily on the process cost, wherein it tries to reduce a couple of processes in between, or tries to introduce process, or tries to club 2 or 3 different processes such that uh, you know you don't need a lot of time between those 2 or 3 different processes, thereby saving cost by reducing the amount of time that would be needed to produce finished goods out of the raw materials, and of course the labor cost as well. Now, what are the tools of TRIZ that would be helpful in doing this? For the product design, where we talk about reduction of cost through product design, function modeling and trimming, and cause effect chain analysis. These are the 3 tools that we would generally use. For the process improvement part of it, there is just the way we did function modeling or functional analysis for products, there is a functional analysis or function modeling for process as well. So process function analysis and trimming is the tools which can be looked at from the process improvement point of view. And yes, somebody was talking to me on the very first day or second day on whether TRIZ can be implemented in the pharma industry. Pharma has a lot of processes that are involved in producing finished goods. Okay, so when we talk about the implementation of TRIZ in the pharma industry, it has great contribution on the process part, especially whether it does a lot of work on the product part as such or not, but then it can contribute greatly in the process part. So yeah, that way. So just covering that ground because somebody had raised this query a couple of days ago. So yes, now we know that these are the tools that are used for cost reduction on the product design side and the process improvement side. Guys, if I'm speaking a little too fast, you can tell me to slow down. Else, it's perfectly fine. If I'm audible and the voice is also not breaking, that should be good. Okay.
It's clear.
So,
It's clear. It's clear.
good enough. So, now that we are talking about cost reduction, we already know function modeling. We've learned the basics of function modeling yesterday. We also tried to draw one function model for the rat trap yesterday. We would try to use the same today and see how it fits in the scheme of things for the cost reduction. So the question is, are we going to use cost a function model just like that? I mean, or is there a thinking that has to go behind before we really do the function model to understand how are we going to use this function model for controlling the cost of a product? So I would say that we are not going to use it blindly. Of course, there is a objective of the project, and the objective would revolve around, probably we would put in figures and say that okay, we want to reduce the cost of the product by 40%, 50%, 60%, whatever the case may be as per the target. So we put that, and then we go on to identify and do something that's called as Pareto charting, Pareto analysis. So this is the function that we were talking about yesterday. And then we do a Pareto chart. Pareto chart, what it generally does is it does a cost analysis of the various components of the product. Okay. So here we see that there is a hammer, there's a plate, there is a trigger, and I would consider this bait as well a part of the product because without the bait, the system does not work. Okay. So we do a Pareto analysis. We see that the hammer is the largest contributor to the cost. Then comes the trigger, then the plate, and then the bait. However, the bait is a recurring cost. It's not a one-time cost. These three are one-time cost, but the bait remains to be a recurring cost. In the event that the mouse is successful in, snatching it away and eating it off. Okay. So after we do the Pareto analysis, what exactly is it that we do to analyze what exactly needs to be done next? So what we do is something that's called as quartile function analysis and identifying components which which contribute to almost 60% of the cost of the overall product. So when we do the same for the rat trap, we identify that hammer and trigger. These are the two that are contributing to the majority of the cost of this rat trap. Okay. So now we have a function model in hand. Now we know who is the culprit here. We know that the culprit is a hammer and a trigger, and we have to bring down the cost. What next? So after we have done this, we need to understand what exactly is trimming. Okay. Trimming, as the word suggests, it's nothing but a method and a technique of for improvement of a technical system by removing certain components. So it does not say it's a method for reducing the cost of a system. It says that it clearly defines that it's a method and a technique for improvement of a technical system. Now, at this point of time, I would like to introduce you to the concept of ideality as discovered by Altshuler. Altshuler has a very clear definition that an ideal system is no system. Okay, the function should happen all by itself. The function should be delivered. I should not need a system to perform the function, and that system would be an ideal system. So why do we call trimming, a method and a technique for improvement of the system lies in this premise where we say an ideal system is no system. Because we are trimming, we are moving towards ideality. We are reducing the components, and thus we are slowly moving towards ideality. And an ideal system is the best system, is the most improved system, cannot be improved further, is the premise behind it. That's why when we talk about trimming, we say if we are cutting the flap, we are improving the system. And mind you guys, we are not saying that we are reducing the thickness of a product, we are reducing the weight, and so on and so forth. We are saying that it's a method and a technique for improvement of a technical system by removing certain components. Okay, we are not thinning them, not doing things like that. We are saying that removing certain components and redistributing their useful function amongst the system, which are remaining amongst the component which are still remaining in the system or the super system, and the most important part, while preserving the quality and performance of the system. So the definition very clearly goes on to say that the performance and the quality of the system are not to be compromised at any point of time. However, what needs to be removed is what is called as the flab, or something which is not really contributing towards achieving the end goal of the system. Now, how do we identify what are the things that are not contributing towards achieving the end goal of the system? Then we go back to the function model once again and understand that what was the basic function that was being delivered by the system. In this case, a rat trap, for example, the basic function was to stop the mouse or to hold the mouse. So the basic function is being, so any component that is performing the basic function is extremely important, and all the components which are not doing the basic function, okay, those are the components that are to some extent a flab on the system. We can kind of do away with it. Okay. The other important rule is whenever we are trying to trim something, we need to identify those components that have a negative impact on the system, which are doing a harmful function. When we were talking about functions yesterday, I said that there are two kinds of function. There is a useful function and there is a harmful function. A useful function is a function that helps you achieve a goal. A harmful function is a function that has a negative impact on the overall functionality of the system. So now, after having known all this, when we go back to the function model once again, we see that those arrows which are marked in red are the ones that are performing the harmful function. And if we look at the system as such over here, there is only one component that's doing any harmful function. And that one component is a hammer. But at the same time, it's the hammer itself which is doing the main primary function of this particular system, which is holding the mouse. So now what we have here is a classic case of a interesting contradiction. We'll go on to study this further. Okay. But before we get into this, now we know what exactly is trimming. Now I'll tell you that there are three rules to trimming. Okay. And we were introduced to the concept of a function carrier, an object of function or a function recipient, and a function that happens in between them. We said that there is always a function carrier that carries out a function on a function object of function or the function recipient. So the first rule of trimming says that the function carrier can be trimmed. When can it be trimmed? It can be trimmed if the object of the function is not needed anymore. So a function carrier can be trimmed if the recipient of the or the object of the function is trimmed. So here we see that if you don't need the object of the function or the function recipient itself, then you don't even need the person who's doing the function and the function recipient. This is the first rule of trimming. The second rule of trimming, and this trimming is called as radical trimming because we have eliminated a complete branch of function carrier as well as the function recipient. So we are ideally saying that the function that was being performed was probably not needed itself. And since this one component was only doing auxiliary functions, we can do away with the auxiliary functions as well as the carrier who was doing the auxiliary functions, thereby bringing down the cost drastically. So this is called as radical trimming. The second rule of the trimming says that we can eliminate the function carrier when, and at this point of time, I would not mind if you guys say something, if you guys have some questions. I would like to hear from you guys. What is your premise? What can be the second scenario in which a function carrier can be removed? आप लोगों को क्या लगता है कि दूसरा सिनेरियो क्या हो सकता है? Other than the object of function being removed, what can be the second scenario in which I can get rid of the function carrier?
Replace the
Yes.
replace the hammer with another option.
No, right now we are not even talking about hammer or mouse or whatever. We are talking in the terms of function carrier and function recipient. We first said a function carrier can be removed when there is no function recipient. Now we are saying that the function carrier can be removed. What can be the second scenario?
Finding
the
an
function itself
alternative,
is not,
finding an
you know,
alternative for function carrier.
yeah.
Maybe a improvised.
Finding an
Yeah.
Ashutosh Prachand. Okay. Who was there? Was somebody else also who was saying something?
If the function itself is not correct,
If the function itself is not correct. Okay, so basically, if the function itself is not needed, right?
yeah, if the function itself is not needed.
Yes.
Huh. So that is pretty much covered in the first scenario, na? Where we said that function recipient की भी जरूरत नहीं है, function ही नहीं चाहिए था वो, तो recipient ही नहीं चाहिए, recipient नहीं चाहिए तो carrier भी नहीं चाहिए, वो first scenario cover किया उसने. अभी second scenario में आप बोल रहे हो कि अगर कोई और function कर सकता है, और कोई guess किसी का? We'll wait for another 5 to 7 seconds, then I'll tell you what exactly is the scene.
If the object of the function is not identified correctly,
So you
Hello?
are attacking the object of the function. You're saying that the object of the function is not needed, right?
yeah, yeah.
So that was the previous scenario, no? That the object of function is not needed, and if the object of the function is not needed, the function carrier is not needed.
No. I'm not saying that it's not needed. I'm saying that if it is not identified correctly.
So then that tells you that you need to go back and redo the function model. Right now we are assuming that the functions are identified correctly, and these are the carriers and the recipients.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What about this? What if the function carrier can be returned, the recipient performs the function by itself? I work on
Okay.
myself. I don't need somebody else to work on me. Okay.
Huh.
This is the second scenario. Now we come to the third rule. In this third rule, a function carrier is not needed when there is a second function carrier that does the same function on the object of function. What Ashutosh hinted towards a little while ago.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So just give me a moment. There's another meeting that's starting. I'll just tell them that I'll be back in a while. Okay. So now we know these three rules of trimming. Okay. And we know that we need to apply trimming to our product to bring down the cost. So if there is another function delivering the function to the recipient object, we know that these two were our trimming candidates, hammer and trigger. We had a Pareto chart done to identify the hammer and trigger as the trimming candidates. We know the three rules of trimming. So now let's trim these two. Let's try trimming these two things and see what happens. These are the functions that are being carried out by the hammer and the trigger respectively. Hammer has one good function and two harmful functions, one useful, two harmful functions. Trigger has two useful functions. Now, but see, trigger is doing two functions, one on the hammer and one on the bait. If we get rid of the hammer itself, trigger ka one function is already gone. And the second function of trigger is pretty trivial, can be done by some other component as well. Okay. So if hammer goes, trigger itself goes, all by itself. So we'll be trimming two components. Okay. Now let's start doing trimming using the trimming rules. Now we have a hammer as the function carrier. We have a mouse as the function recipient. Hammer is holding the mouse. Now the rule goes like this: hammer can be trimmed if mouse is trimmed. But this is like we said, this is going to the radical trimming. But in this scenario, आपके घर में ये सामान लगेगा ही नहीं, तो it's a case where आपके घर में चूहे हैं ही नहीं. तो आपको चूहे नहीं है तो आपको hammer भी नहीं चाहिए, because there is no mouse. You don't need a rat trap. So this does not fit in here. We'll move to the next rule. Hammer can be trimmed if the mouse catches itself. So the mouse should perform the function of holding the mouse all by itself. Nobody else should hold the mouse. The mouse comes and holds itself.
So in this scenario, it should be something in which the mouse itself goes out of the house without even the trap.
That's one way of. That's a very interesting way of thinking. See, like I told you guys, Triz is not something that gives you solutions. It only
Yeah.
gives you a direction of solution. It triggers your thinking, like you started thinking right now. That there is something that pushes the mouse out of the house all by itself. You should
So
have
that
a
way-
cat at house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or there could be, like we were mentioning, the plate. So the plate could also have some adhesive onto it, onto which the mouse can just get trapped by himself.
Yes.
Then the mouse is not holding all by itself. Now you are needing a second object. Then you have gone to the third rule of trimming.
Okay. Okay.
Ashutosh,
Yeah.
if you don't mind, have you been through these things before?
No, not at all.
Then I really like the way you're thinking. Good.
I'm really attending this for the first time.
Okay. So we already have two ideas. See, we have not completed this job yet, but we already have two ideas that have come up. And then the third scenario where we say that, okay, if not hammer, then who? Who can be the possible candidate that delivers the function of holding the mouse? Okay. So this is how we can trim hammer. These are the ways in which we are going to trim the hammer. Okay. So let's go back a little further. Let's try understanding this further. We said that mouse can hold itself. So we said that there is something that pushes the mouse out, or the mouse goes out of the house all by itself. Right? And in this scenario,
Or there is a pet which can scare away, like a dog or a cat, which can scare away the mouse.
right. So the mouse runs out by itself. You're not doing anything. In this scenario, the cat or the dog is performing the function of scaring the mouse away. You don't need an additional object to it. And in this third rule, where we say who is going to do the function. So, like Ashutosh rightly said, we can have the plate perform the function of holding the mouse. Mouse is anyways coming onto the plate. So let mouse perform the function of holding the, let plate perform the function of holding the mouse as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we move to the next thing. We had the trigger and the bait. Now, if the hammer is trimmed, the function of trigger on the hammer is also trimmed, because the hammer itself is not there. So the trigger does not need to perform any function on the hammer. So now the trigger has one function, that is holding the bait. Again, the same thing. If the trigger is trimmed, can we trim the bait itself? What is
Yes.
the function that the bait is doing in that case? The bait was doing the function of informing the rat or attracting the rat.
Attracting the rat. Yes.
Can something else do that function? Then we need to start thinking on those lines. Okay, if we are trimming the trigger and if we are trimming the bait itself, what is the other useful or the most important function that the bait was carrying out?
So
The bait had
the plate itself can act as a bait if designed in that way.
yeah, of course. That's an interesting way you've started thinking in.
Yeah.
Like
Good.
the plate can, it can be designed in a way of a bread piece or a cheese block.
Yes, it looks like a cheese block. Whether it is a cheese block or not is a different story.
It should
But it
look
looks
like
like a
that.
cheese block.
Yeah.
But we also need to keep in mind that mouses have a very good
Their sensory
olfactory
vision.
sense.
Yeah.
Very
Right.
good
Yeah.
olfactory sense. So
Yeah. So we can also have something which can, smell. The smell can also be captured.
Artificial smell.
so right. So we are delegating the function. Now see, we are not just talking about removing the bait. Now we are talking about delegating the function of bait itself. So now you guys see, we have trimmed the hammer, we have trimmed the trigger, and now we are trimming the bait as well. We had a total of only 4 components in this product: a trigger, a hammer, a bait, and a plate.
Right.
So now look at the power of this thing. It's telling you that you can trim 3 of these 4 components. You can
Hmm.
have just one component, it will still do the function.
Just the
Hmm.
plate.
Just the
Just
plate.
the
Yes.
plate. Right. Just the plate. Very nice. I like the way you guys are thinking. And then it will be a radical trimming. It will be a completely radical trimming.
Hmm.
Now, again, the second rule is here. If the bait performs the function of holding the bait itself, can you tell me a scenario where the bait performs the function of holding the bait itself?
मुझे वो उधर दिखा रहा है क्या वो? हाँ वो कुछ डिस्प्ले कर रहा है कुछ प्रेजेंटेशन रुक गया
Guys, you guys have gone quiet completely. No ideas on this?
No, there was
No.
some background noise.
Yeah. We are with you. We are with you.
Okay. So if bait performs, like we said, we have trimmed the bait. So we have moved to the
Yes.
next stage where we say that we have trimmed the bait as well. So we don't need the trigger completely because the bait is trimmed, the hammer is trimmed, the trigger is not required at all. Now the plate is doing the complete function.
Right.
Then in this case, we don't even need the third rule. But who would perform the function of holding the bait? Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Can the bait be something which can paralyze the rat? So there is no need to hold the bait as well or hold the rat.
Very good. That can also be one possibility. Why not? Why not? So you can probably have an electrically charged mouse trap, which the
Right.
mouse walks onto and is paralyzed right there.
Hmm.
It's basically triggering the way you guys are thinking, nothing else. It's just triggering you guys to think in different directions.
So
we have only these.
in that case, in the second rule, the rat kill that is available in the market is like it falls under the second rule, right?
Now, what does the rat kill do?
The bait itself kills the rat.
Right. So you have trimmed the plate, you have trimmed the hammer, you
Yes.
have trimmed
When
the
it is,
trigger. You are using the
but
bait
when
to
it
kill
is
the rat.
killing the, but when it is killing the mouse, then it is harming it. Like it is not just holding it.
Right. Very interesting. I really wanted to hear this point of view from somebody. What is the basic function of this thing? The basic
Just to
function is to
hold.
either to hold the rat, not to kill the rat.
Yes.
Hmm.
That's why we said that when it is harming the rat, it is a not a useful function. It's a
Not
harmful
a useful.
function.
Exactly.
So it's not the intended use of this rat trap. The intended use is only to hold the rat, not to kill the rat or not to harm the rat. So rat kill is
So
rightly doing
we
that
can
part
have
of
a bait.
scaring the rat away.
We can have a bait that can just sensitize it, like for just few
Just paralyze it. Just paralyze
minutes,
it.
and and like you can hold it, and then without the mouse harming you, you can leave it somewhere else for a few minutes and not harming it completely.
Right. So the idea is coming out very clearly that the job is not to harm the mouse. The job is not to kill the mouse. The job is only to hold the mouse such that it does not harm you.
Yes.
Uh, in
Should
this,
not
if like
harm.
if we put let's say a electric bait for that matter, or the plate which has a electric trap attached to it, in that case, even if the pet walks onto the plate, it may get harmed. So that has to be also thought of.
Electric, but the
So that
amplitude
harmful
of
function
shock,
remains.
Sorry.
So that harmful function
the
still
amplitude of
remains.
shock will also play.
Yeah.
Right. So what you're trying to say is, Zalak, is ki, the amplitude of shock is such that it paralyzes the mouse, but not the pet.
But does not
Right.
kill it.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Ah.
Okay.
So even if you're paralyzing the rat, you're ideally harming the rat, isn't it? If you
Harming the
leave
No,
rat.
no.
that rat outside, it will not be able to lead its normal life. Na?
Uh, it is
Yeah.
harming after all.
So
It is
adhesive
harming
one.
it.
So ideally, it should just hold it and then leave it outside, something like that.
Yes.
Absolutely. So that's what the
Yes.
whole purpose is.
Yes. Yes.
You catch a rat, hold it, and then leave it out.
Hmm.
We can have a bait that can anesthetize the rat or mouse.
Hmm.
What else? You guys are really thinking good. I like the way this whole conversation is going.
Or else we can even have something which can, have like the bait itself can give a like it can be a bait which will keep blinking. So in that way, it will attract anyone's attention, either it be a mouse or the pet or even a toddler.
But then the whole
Then
purpose of catching or holding the mouse gets defeated. No? So let's say there are couple of pets in the house. Then
Mhm.
anybody could
It
go and
will
just, you
attract
know,
every pet in the house.
yeah.
Yeah, but
So
then, like for example,
And
if we are having,
blinking rats and mouse
unless
don't attract to blinking mostly. They don't have so much of
unless they
attraction
are
towards
trained
blinking.
Senses
to.
is
It's
their
just the
best.
smell that attracts them so much.
Olfactory is their most important.
The main thing is olfactory functioning.
Right.
Hmm.
Yes.
Rohan, we can also model the plate to have some storage area where, let's say, if mouse comes through the bait or modeled bait, and once he puts the step on that plate, so then he falls into that trap.
Yes, that can definitely be a very good idea.
Hmm.
So, like I said, we are not going to discuss the solution today. We are just going to, now that I have given you guys specific problems to solve, this trimming is not a solutioning tool. This trimming is a tool that identifies the right problems to solve. So now we have identified the right problems to solve. We need to trim the hammer, we need to trim the trigger, and probably even the bait for that matter, or the plate for that matter, and find out a rat trap that can catch the rat but not harm the rat at the same time. Because
No, as
harming the rat or harming
Okay. Can it be something like a mat on which we'll keep the bait, and as soon as the rat comes towards it, the mat will catch hold of it like a potli.
interesting idea, na?
Like a potli, it
or
will just hang it, and then we can just take the potli out and throw it away.
Release the rat, yeah.
or as our colleague rightly said, that there could be a container where whenever the rat walks onto the trap or the plate, it flips with its weight and then it falls inside and then it's done.
And the potly idea is similar to what we see in the Venus flytrap. How a fly enters that flower and it traps it there.
Yeah, I got it from that itself. So
Now
that's how we
the way
query
you
it,
are
right?
thinking that you got it from that, right? That's what is called as something where we say that it's a function oriented study. You are
Yeah.
trying to now look at the function. The basic function is to
Identify.
What
hold
is
it,
the
and
yes?
you are now
Identify
getting
the
those
Business.
ideas because we have actually boiled down and we said that we are now just looking at the function. We are
Yeah.
not looking at a rat trap. And unless you do this function modeling, you will not be coming to a stage where you say that now I have identified the function. This is the function that needs to be done.
Mm.
So now you guys see it basically uh, makes it basically takes you to the next level of abstraction. Uh, when you Google the word TRIZ and the methodology, you will come across a lot of these cartoons or graphics where it says that it makes a specific problem into a generic problem. It takes you to a level of abstraction, and when you are looking at a generic problem you can find a generic solution to it, and then to that generic solution you apply your condition and you develop your own specific solutions out of the generic solutions. So that's what TRIZ generally does.
Mm.
I have one question regarding this.
Yes, tell me, Zalak.
Hello.
Yes, tell me.
Uh, changing chains of trap. How
Your
will we spread it?
your vo- your voice is breaking, Zalak.
It may happen that by hammer changing like by or same. How can we? Hello.
Zalak, I can't hear you. You can type your query here in the chat box. I'm looking at that. When we trim out hammer or any object, are we focusing on other ways and are focusing on? That's very interesting. Okay, the query that Zalak is raising is when we are trimming out hammer or any object and are focusing on other ways, how do we incorporate the economic cost? So now, like we said, that the whole purpose of the exercise is cost reduction. And because we wanted to reduce the cost, we are trimming in a few components. Now, when we are trimming a few components, we have to be mindful that we don't introduce components. That's why this the aspect was very clearly saying that the function should be performed by the existing components that are there. You don't have to add components here. Don't have to add components here. It has to be a second function carrier that is existing in the system, which is now doing the function of the previous function carrier as well. So now, even if we are talking about a plate that would look like a cheese for that matter, or a plate that would smell like a cheese, and so that it attracts the rat, and the rat gets trapped onto the cheese, it gets stuck onto the mat itself. We have to actually be mindful of this aspect that we don't end up increasing the cost. The whole idea is to bring down the cost. So when we are doing these things, we have to be mindful of what is the cost that was being incurred earlier and what is the cost that is being incurred now.
So Rohan, here I would like to add one point. So like when we were removing the original bait, which was a recurring cost and person has to invest every time the bait was to replace. And if we go by the other solution which was provided, that bait can be already installed in the plate, so that will convert it to a one-time solution, one-time cost, and only the essence or whatever smell you're adding every time. So that will be a partial cost of other than creating a new
You are
bait every
reducing the
time.
operational cost. You are reducing the operational cost. And you are
Yes.
saying that by reducing the operational cost, I am reducing the overall lifetime cost of the of a product. So even if it
Yes.
costs a little more initially, I am countering for it by reducing the cost of operations.
Right.
So yeah, a good point. Yes, very well taken. And these things actually come in picture quite a lot when we are doing a little high-tech engineering projects where we say that okay, we are developing a component that costs a little more, but you don't need to service this product. So there is a concept that's called as the total cost of ownership. So we tell our customer that we are trying to bring down the total cost of ownership, TCO. We are not trying to bring down the cost of the product. We are trying to bring down the total cost of ownership of the product. Like say for example, you buy a car. There is a capital expense. There is a one-time expense in buying the car. And when you're buying a car, you definitely look at kitna deti hai. What is the mileage? So you're now looking at the operational cost of the vehicle. So if somebody tells you that this car costs, like the same is the case when we are taking diesel vehicles over petrol vehicles. People say that if your running is a lot, you can opt out for a diesel vehicle instead because diesel costs a little more initially, but overall, because of the amount of running that you're doing, because of the amount of usage of the vehicle, the cost comes down over a period of 1.5, 2 years. So there is a good return on the investment basically. So yes, when we are doing, see, this is just an example where we are saying that okay, this one product that we had, but then if we are doing such similar product for all high-tech engineering projects, we consider all these things. We consider the total cost of ownership as well when we are doing such a project. Right now, here we are not even looking at the packaging cost because this was done more as an example. There is a lot of packing, like I was saying initially, that there is a lot of packaging cost that's involved in products. So attach the packaging cost as well. We design it in such a way that the packaging reduces. So thereby killing the packaging cost as well. So I think with this we have done function modeling and we have done trimming using the function modeling. I have not given solution to you guys, but there is a very interesting solution to this. Now tomorrow what we are going to do is we are going to expand this problem further where we see that the intended purpose is to hold the mouse, not kill the mouse, not harm the mouse. So we will take the existing system tomorrow and we will take it through a root cause analysis or a cause effect chain analysis, where we say that, okay, the rat trap is doing the function of holding the mouse, but at the same time, the rat trap is harming the mouse as well. So we'll start with the rat trap harming the mouse, and we'll go on dissecting it further to understand how is it really harming the mouse, and what is it that needs to be done so that it holds the mouse but does not harm the mouse. So the theme of tomorrow's discussion is going to be contradiction. Contradiction is a way of life, basically. So we'll be discussing contradiction tomorrow with the same example, and day after tomorrow we'll be working on resolving the contradiction. Okay. So yes, at the end of before the end of this week, I'll be giving out some solutions that we had worked on for this rat trap. Some interesting solutions.
Were the
But then
solutions
until
discussed or hinted in any way in today's discussion?
wait for a couple of days, na? We'll get
Yeah,
to
I
see the solution.
think
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Until then, keep thinking.
never,
Until then, keep thinking.
Yeah.
I
Right. True.
never hinted. Question.
Who knows? You guys come up with a better solution than the one we had developed.
Yeah, that's the whole purpose, I guess. Yes.
Right. The purpose is to
Yeah.
trigger thinking, isn't it?
Yes.
The purpose
True.
is not to let you guys know what the solution was.
Yes.
Okay, so I think we have covered this and we are finishing before time today. Quite interesting. So, are there any specific queries that are left? I think today we had a very good interactive session, and most of the doubts have been cleared during the session itself. What do you guys say? Should we sign off for the day, or you guys need some clarity on some specific aspects? Dr. Damayanti Bagda had sent a message saying that she probably needs the presentation. Dr. Damayanti, like I have said in my previous sessions, sharing the presentation is not going to yield much unless somebody takes you through the contents of the presentation. And since the presentation is not like a textbook and does not give you all the details of what has been discussed, it might just lead to more confusions. So I would request you to, please explain function modeling. Aditya Kumar. True, no query. It was brainstorming session to understand. You said what is the real use of spectacles? Can you explain? Okay. Now we have some questions coming here. Yesterday I gave you guys some work. I gave you guys work to find out what is the real function of specs. Ashutosh Prachand, please briefly touch upon rule 2. Okay, fine. I'll take a brief recap of today's session. Just a moment. So in today's session, we said that when we are talking about trimming, there are a few costs involved in the product. Because this idea is to reduce the cost, there are these costs that are involved in the product, and Triz can work on reducing the cost either by product design changes or process improvements. Process improvement, we have two tools: process function modeling and then trimming. Product design, we have the function modeling of the product and then trimming, and the cause effect chain analysis. So the function model was already existing for what we had done yesterday. We took that function model and we broke the cost of individual components of that product, and we plotted a Pareto chart. Then we tried to identify what are the components that are contributing to 60% or more of the cost, and these two form the trimming
Respect to
candidates for us. So see, we want to trim the hammer and the trigger here.
our expert.
Now we understood what trimming is. It's a method and technique for improvement of technical system by removing certain components and redistributing their function among the remaining system or super system components while preserving the quality and performance of the system. There were three rules. If a function carrier is to be removed,
Are you able to hear
and
us?
if the object of function itself is removed, then the function carrier is not needed. The first scenario, which was called as radical trimming. Second scenario, function carrier can be removed if the recipient itself performs a function on itself. You don't need somebody else to perform that function. In that scenario, also the function carrier can be removed. And the third rule was function carrier can be removed if that function is being carried out by a second function carrier, which is an existing component of the system. So you are basically delegating the function of this function carrier to an existing one so that you can trim this function. So these were the three rules of trimming we discussed. And then we said that these are the functions that we are looking at for the trimming candidates that we have identified. And then we wanted to delegate their function to somebody else so that we can trim those components. So we wanted to trim hammer and trigger, and we discussed quite a lot of points where we said that what if mouse can hold itself? What if mouse runs out on its own? So on and so forth. So this is a brief summary of what we did today, and we finally said that these are the two problems that are to be solved. Weight performs the function of holding the weight by itself, or somebody else hold the weight, or mouse performs the function of holding the mouse by itself, or another component holds the mouse. But the more important problem was this, because the whole job is holding the mouse. So the more important function was this, holding the mouse. Who can perform, or can the mouse perform it on its own? This was the problem statement with which we ended today's session. This was the brief recap of what we did. Now, coming back to the question that we had asked, what is the function of specs? I told you guys to look at it yesterday. I have answers coming in here where people say basic function of spec is to keep the glass in proper way, hence with comfort objective can be achieved. When we are talking about specs, glass or lens is a part of the spectacle as well. And we are trying to identify what is the function of the spectacle as such.
Can be improved the vision of particular person.
Dr. Patel, you're saying it can help improve the vision of a particular person. Now, if you would have attended the previous class, I told that there has to be a physical contact between the object of the function and the function carrier. What is the function carrier in this case, and what is the object of the function? Treatment of hyperbiopia and hypermetropia. No, that's not the function, Zalak. Function has to be spoken out on written in this format: function carrier, function recipient. So we have to identify the function carrier. So what is the function carrier within the specs? What is it performing the function on, and what is the function that it is performing on the function recipient? It has to be in this format specifically. Correct the ray of light, Prabhakar Sharma. Shreyas Kirvai, specs modify the light coming towards the eyes. Change the path of light. Shailendra Hujre, to keep the glass in front of eyes. I see very interesting concepts coming up. Guys, like I told you, there is a specific format. Function carrier, function recipient. Write your function in that form and send it. Let me have a look. So when you're saying correct the ray of light, who is the function recipient? Who is the function carrier? And what physical aspect is being changed of the function recipient? Specs modify the light coming towards it. Shreyas ki wahi. Change the path of light. Who is the function carrier and who is the function recipient? Guys, by the time we end this session of 6 days, I want every one of you to be speaking in this language of function carrier and function recipient. Ashutosh Prachand, function carrier is glasses and frame. Function recipient, function correct the vision. Function recipient, who is the function recipient? Ashutosh Prachand. Function carrier specs. Specs is a system. There are various components in the system that would perform the function. So Prabhakar, before identifying the function, we need to do the component analysis of specs. Function recipient human. Is specs physically in contact with human? Function carrier lens. Function recipient eyes. No, you guys have still not cracked it completely. Zalak Desai says it's holder. No. So tomorrow when we start, we will first look at what is the function of specs and a pen. These were the two things I gave yesterday, right? Function recipient is brain. Okay. Dr. Patel. Not yet there. Function carrier and function recipient have to be in contact with each other, either physically or through a field. Function carrier lens held in the specs. Naveen Sharma function recipient light. Refraction of light. Interesting, Naveen Sharma. So write it in the format. So lens, what does it do to the light? What happens when light refracts? Naveen, you are moving in the right direction. You need to think a little more. Function magnify object or no, now you're digressing. Simple format, function carrier, function recipient. If we go through the presentation which I was sharing just now, look at the way I wrote function. Hammer holds mouse. This is the function. Hammer harms mouse. This is the way in which you have to write. So basically pretty much there. I'll answer for your interest. See, a specs does nothing but it bends light. Because when refraction happens, the path of the light bends. Okay. So the function of a spec is to bend light. That's it. A specs does not do anything beyond that. Clear, guys? Or does somebody have a question or something? Good enough. Okay, Amit bhai, with that, I think we can sign off for the day. We'll meet again tomorrow with cause effect chain analysis and contradiction.
Very interactive session today. And thank you all participants for making it very live. Right? Unless otherwise it won't be so interesting.